everybody. This is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thot Flash. I'm going to read you a quick sentence. The quantity of function predetermines the quality of function. The quantity of function predetermines the quality of function. The quantity of function present in a given quantity of matter is what predetermines the quality of the function that is passing through that matter. Going right to mental impulse. Great stuff. Great book, The Great Undertow. This is actually a copy for a colleague of mine, Dr. Pete Lombardi, which I've been promising him that I was going to get him, but the place I was buying it from only had so many copies, so I ordered a whole bunch of them. They're slowly trickling in. So welcome, guys, to our Thot Flash this week. I got to tell you, we are going to have a phenomenal event in Las Vegas. It's typically our biggest event of the year. Why? Because it's Las Vegas, number one. Number two, we're going to bring in Garrett Gunderson who wrote a book, Killing the Sacred Cows, which is really talking about financial subluxations in your life, in your practice. He's extremely passionate. He is going to talk about investing in yourself, that the best way to become successful is to increase your value, and the best way to increase your value is to invest in yourself. And one of the great ways to invest in yourself is to spend a little time and money and get right to Las Vegas and spend the weekend, I say the weekend, Friday, Saturday. We set up our events on Friday, Saturday so that you can spend time with your family either Saturday night or Sunday. So that's one of the reasons we do a half day Friday and then all day on Saturday. So it's a great time to invest in yourself, and then certainly invest in your practice, invest in your financial success, and certainly spend some time with your family. So I'd love to see you in Vegas, so hopefully you're there. I just was on Facebook a little while ago, and the way I look at it, and I think we got to think huge, and that is we want to dunk the planet. We want to dunk the planet in some chiropractic love. We want to submerge the planet Earth and just get everybody on the planet to understand what it is we do. We are so misunderstood as a profession because our message isn't clear. And I think we've seen that more recently now than we've ever seen it. And we understand why. There's some reasons for that. Certainly what's happening and what's happened with the CCE is some clarification, some purging of the profession. And they were certainly shown that they aren't representing the profession as a whole. And so they were given some time to show that they're going to represent the profession, or they have represented the profession, and what they're going to do in order to heal the profession. And the subluxations that are our problem, that are preventing the growth of this profession, certainly are that primordial subluxation that you guys have heard me talk about at length, and that is, above the head. So I talk about getting better at adjusting people above the atlas. That's the better place to be as a chiropractor. You certainly, as a profession, we need to be better above the atlas as well. Our ability to communicate, our ability to demonstrate value, our ability to be clear and concise in offering recommendations for care and why, and then justifying that if need be. And we need to work together as a profession. A major problem with our profession is we don't work together, and we all have differences. Listen, you're going to have differences with people you love, whether it be your husband or your wife or your children or your business colleague or what have you. So to say because we're a family doesn't mean we need to walk in total step with everyone and do everything everyone says. I'm not saying that, but we need to love each other and respect each other. We need to give other people their options to voice their opinions, and certainly have different ways. But at the same time, most of our differences are petty. Most of them are petty, and we have to understand that the whole idea of chiropractic is subluxation based and drugless. That the whole idea of chiropractic was the concept that there's a doctor that lies within you called innate, and that our job is to nurture innate so that the body works as well as it can. And if the body fails or fumbles or is challenged by trauma or some other type of disease that's beyond what the body is capable through innate and matter, right, of correcting, then certainly medicine plays a role. So to argue that chiropractic is to replace medicine, That's ridiculous. That's never been the goal. Chiropractic really doesn't have anything to do with medicine. But reality is, if people learn the paradigm that the body heals from within, number one, and then two, we were able to communicate effectively and demonstrate our value towards their health care and their family and their children and their baby's health care, two things are going to happen. One, people will look to themselves and ways to get their body to work better before they ever look for medical. I mean, that's number one. Number two, less people will get sick. So following that principle, hitting on both cylinders, everyone's going to get healthier, and two, or less likely to get sick, and two, people will shift their paradigm, the way they view the world, the way they think, and therefore they're not going to choose the drug or surgery as a first choice or as the only choice. And it'll change the world. The other beauty I love about the philosophy and the metaphysical aspect of chiropractic is that it answers so many questions for us in how we work and treat each other, both as patient, doctor, as colleagues, as stewards of the earth. I mean, really. So when I talk about dunking the earth in love, in chiropractic love, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, if we were able to communicate to the people that not only does the body heal from within, but the planet heals from within, that the earth heals from within, that the earth would heal if we took better care of it, and that we'll heal as we take better care of it, and that relationships and people heal as we take better care of them, because inherently everything wants to be healthy, everything wants to be good, everything wants to gravitate towards that wellness paradigm, or that wellness function, that wellness homeostasis. So quantity and quality, which are words that you hear from Dee Dee, you hear Tone, and then you hear those words by his son BJ regularly. Those are words that we need to use in all aspects of our life. So we don't pollute the world so much, we don't pollute our bodies so much, right? Again, how we talk to each other, how we treat each other. I mean, we could certainly demonstrate that a lot in our relationships with colleagues that we disagree with, so much more if we were more chiropractic in that. And I mean, from a philosophy standpoint and metaphysical standpoint, boy, that would be so much better for the entire profession. So these are things we talk about at our events. We certainly got to give you nuts and bolts of practice. You know, how do you do a day one, a day two? How do you explain chiropractic? Do you do group reports? Do you talk about bringing a spouse there, a significant other? How do you educate people towards the benefit and the importance and the role of bringing babies and kids in? These are all things that are so important that we talk about at all of our events, and certainly we train very hard on week to week in our consulting program. So we'd love to have you there. Remember, January 13th and 14th. January 13th, 14th, Las Vegas. We got Garrett Gunnarsson coming in. We are going to take the world, take the earth, and we're going to dunk it in some chiropractic love. I hope you're there with us, guys. Have a great week. May your innate always flow from above down, guys.
My best friend gave me the best advice. He said each day